Hello everyone. As you guys can see, we are back with Kendra today. Welcome to my channel if you're new. Welcome back if you're returning. I'm just showing you some of the things we'll be working with. The orange color we'll be using is this M115 by Notpolish and black. I didn't have the orange in front of us because we hadn't picked it yet. So I'm just showing you some of the prep I do as I talk here. So we're going to be doing the third. Whenever Kendra comes, we usually remove her set completely after her third one. So this is the last set we'll be doing on these nails. So she came in 2 videos ago to get these hot pink set with a Hello Kitty, and then last time she came in and got a fill with these. It's been about 3 weeks since she came back. I'm sorry, 3 weeks since her last set. And she has 0 lifting and 0 breaks, which is fantastic. So I'm just showing you in real time, one finger, how I am removing the acrylic, and then the next finger is going to go by on double speed, and then we're going to get into some filing. And I want to show you the angle, an angle that I learned to hold a file that changed my game. I like to give you guys little tips in my videos, things that really helped me learn. So I am going to be showing you right after this. The next step is to clean up the free edge of the nails so we can start our prep, because right now we're doing removal, and then before we lay acrylic, whether it's a fill, a rebalance, or a new set, prep is key. So I'm just going to be shaping up her nails here, and I'm kind of trying to talk until we get to this little angle I'm going to show you. It's going to be right here. So this right here, and you'll see me do it a few different times. That's really going to improve your shape, you guys, if you use this angle on both sides of your nail, not just for coffin, either for square, for stiletto. Getting that part, I don't know what to call it, that angle, that area of the nail, getting that part off is, or trim or slim, is really going to help you. After that, I'm going to go in with a sanding band on a speed of 3 or 4 and start cleaning up her natural nail as well as the set that was underneath. Now, the last time we took down her first set, Kendra and I both noticed that she had some yellowing. We were both like, what is that? Like, why are my nails so yellow? She asked me. I'm like, I don't know. So right here you can see right below my sanding band right now is the bead of clear I laid last time for her fill. And right under that, I'm going to show you, I'm going to stop it here. I'm going to put a little pointer. See this? See that line right there? That is the clear layer I laid down for her first set. So as you can see, my clear layer is still intact from last time, but the yellowing, and I can see right here, see how that line, I know I need to work on that, because I could see there was like a little hole forming there. And you're not going to be able to put anything down if you're going to be able, if you have any holes in any of your clear or your acrylic. You need to get that off so that moisture doesn't get in there. So that's just what I'm doing. But as I'm working, I'm noticing that my last layer of clear that I put in is still intact there. But the second bead that I'm working on now, the one I showed you with the pointer from the first set, is not intact. It's crumbly, it's crusty, and it's that yellow color. So like this, look at this. So right up here is my first layer. I keep saying first, my last clear layer, there it is right there. And under that, you can literally see the whole bead is under that, the first clear layer I used on this first set is just yellow. So I did an experiment on my channel, you guys, where I showed you yellowing. I tested all the clears in my stock, and some of them yellowed, and I'm like, young nails, not polished. I was real surprised. And the only one that I really like using all the time is Kiara Sky. So I need to go back 2 videos and look at the first time I did this set on her. The Hello Kitty nails, I'm going to have to go back and check what clear I used, because I'm not going to be using that on my clients anymore. I might use it on my practice. And you can see here that whole bead is flaking off under the last application. So this is just, I don't want to say subpar products, because, you know, Young Nails Not Polished, they're not subpar products. I'm not sure what I use. I'm just giving an example. But you can see that whole bead is just, I need to go all around the edges, make sure none of it's coming up. And so I had to do that on all the nails, you guys. go through and make sure there was really no lifting, see if I needed to remove any. And so when we get into the next step, you'll see how far I had to take all of this down. Because last time when we noticed how yellow her nails were under there, I just didn't, it wasn't flaking like this. So I didn't really have an answer. We didn't really know why they were so yellow. I just figured she works in restaurants and maybe maybe the clear yellowed a little. But I could see her nails didn't have any like fungus or anything, you know. So anyway, and then I clean up my area after that step. And I wanted to keep this in just for you guys. I thought it was just a little cute little thing. And it's something that you don't know if you're not taking clients. How much prep goes into, how much time goes into setting up your set. I just wanted to show you guys like how many oranges we actually tested before we got the right Halloween pumpkin orange that matched the stickers we were going to use. Like I literally swatched all of those before we came to a color. And then here you can see how far down I had to take the product to get rid of that. This nail, you'll see in a minute, that index nail there, it wasn't damaged, it was intact, so I was able to keep it, but it is still yellow. I wasn't too concerned about that because we are removing these next time, and as long as her structure was good, we kept going. But you are going to be able to see again on the index finger here just how yellow that clear was. And if it's a clear layer underneath your set, if it's your clear layer that you're using, like here, this clear I'm going to do here, how we lay a clear layer to build our base and blend our nail and add strength and all that. If it's just your clear layer, it's just yellowing, it's not that big of a deal as long as your nail's intact and the strength is there. But if it's the same clear you're using to encapsulate your set, that sucks. You know, you don't want yellow. But what bothered me was how it was just crumbling, how it just completely was just crumbling. So yeah, I'm gonna have to look into that. So as you can see, we are going in with a clear layer of Kiara Sky, and you can see how beautiful these nails are. You can also notice about Kendra, she's got very, very sensitive skin, and you can see the work I just did. None of it was rough. The actual acrylic removal when I had the dust collector out looked aggressive, but that was because I had it sped up twice for you guys. And so you see this layer, I paused this here because I wanted you guys to see how clearly you can tell the two different layers of clear that are there. So just watch out for that kind of thing when you're working with products on your clients. So we're going to go in here now with that orange that we found, which ended up being that M115. The reason I put the name, instead of the name of the acrylic, the number, is because that's just what I grabbed at the time. I believe this was called Sweet Treat. And it was just a fabulous yellow. So I, as usual, struggled with the black application. So she's having every other nail orange and every other nail black. And we do have this hot pink under here to make sure we can't see. Obviously, you're going to see it from underneath, but we don't want to see it from the sidewalls. So I was glad that this orange was pigmented enough to cover it. Another thing I've mentioned to you guys about Notpolish before, but I think it's probably been many, 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 many videos, so some of you that are new might not know this. Notpolish acrylics, one of the things that they kind of have for their name is when you're using, let's just say Valentino colored acrylics. They aren't colored acrylics, they're pigments, okay? There's not very much clear in them at all. They come in 1 ounce containers, and they're literally pigments. There's some acrylic in them, yes, they're acrylics, but Notpolish colored acrylics, they're acrylics. They stand on their own. You do not need to cap them in clear. You can build them up. So if you're working with an acrylic like Valentino, you want to put a very, very thin layer, and that's why they don't operate the way you might be used to feeling a colored acrylic, because a lot of newer brands have modeled the way they make acrylics, colored acrylics, after companies like Notpolish that make colored acrylics able to stand on their own, so you don't always have to cap in clear. So that might be why you guys see me building my nails with the colored acrylic, because I'm using Notpolish. If I use a different brand, maybe let's just use Valentino for example, and I think they're called V Beauty Pure now, but you guys know what I mean. If you're used to using Notpolish and you buy some Valentino, you're going to be sorely disappointed, because it's going to seem like it's marbling, it's going to seem like it's really thin and powdery, and it's just not going to perform the same at all. And that's because these are buildable. I do cap these in clear because, the reason I do it is because, as you can see here, as I've built this nail, I'm keeping it my shape really, really close to how I want it to stay. I'm keeping it really close to the shape of my tip and all the prep I've done. So if I now am going to file, when I get to the filing step, I'm going to undo that how finely I've gotten this to the tip, because you can see also on these sidewalls that it's just one stroke away from getting to seeing that pink, which we don't want. So to keep my shape and to be able to file, I'm always just going to put a little layer of clear like I'm doing here. I don't put the clear layer for strength. I don't put it for building. I just put it for filing. So I just wanted to explain that to you guys, because I haven't said that in several videos, and that is why I'm doing it. Also, I'm using my usual liquid to powder ratio, but my room was kind of cold because I'm like traumatized by a few sets ago when my products were hardening up. So I'm keeping my room cold now because that was terrible. So as you can see, this bead that I laid right here, I let it set while I did like 3 layers of clear on that pinky, and it's still workable over here. So the product, it was cold in my room, just FYI. So there are many times throughout this set where I will, I like to let the beads polymerize on the nail versus on my brush, because when I let the bead polymerize on my brush, I really can't tell how firm it's getting and how workable it's going to be. Like my room might be too warm, or my monomer might be faster drying than my acrylic that I'm using, and I'm letting my bead polymerize on my brush, and I put it down and it's already hard, and now I can't work it. So I like to put my beads down on my nail and let them rest there and tap and feel and mold as I go. And as I'm doing that, I'm feeling how firm my bead is getting, so that way I know what stage in the polymerization I'm at. So I know that way if I need to drag, blend, pat. And it also lets the acrylic kind of melt into place. So if you also see me doing that, it might be a little bit different than other people. That's just how over time it's become easier for me to do it, and I've just kind of learned trial and error what works for me. So I'm going to let you guys watch the application, and I'll jump back on if I see anything I need to let you guys know about. And thank you guys for being here. I really appreciate you watching. If I don't say that enough, I just love that you guys even tune in at all for anything I have to say. I think that's amazing, and I absolutely love helping and giving tips, and I love watching nail videos. I love it. I love doing it. I like editing them. I love making sure I can record when a client comes. I love the whole thing. So I'm glad that you guys are here with me, and I'll be back. So one thing that is easy to see, not you, one thing that's easy for us to see while I'm building this nail is, okay, so I mentioned in my last video, when we're doing a fill, we're doing a rebalance, we already have an acrylic nail under there, but I've made it its thinnest possible, the nail we're working on and that we're putting acrylic on now. However, as you can see here, the reason I'm going in a little thick here is because I know, maybe not a little thick, it's actually like, if I do zoom out later so you guys can see, because a lot of times when you're zoomed up close, things look a little more intense than they are, but I do zoom out a little bit later. But right here at this stage, see this right there? I know, as I'm building this nail, that when I'm finished and I'm going to file, I'm going to take my file underneath this and get rid of almost all the pink from the free edge. It will be on the side walls. you know, I won't be able to take it off the sidewalls, but I will be able to remove it from the free edge. So I do need a good free edge there. So if it looks a little thickety or thickiana, as Paige might say, I love that word, thickiana. It is a little, because there needs to be a nail there, because I'm going to remove all that pink from underneath when we get to the filing stage. And also Kendra's nails that you can see, her natural nails underneath this. I asked her if she wanted me to thin those down. And I don't think we ever really came back around to whether she wanted me to do that or not. I think we started talking about other things. But we are removing these next time, so maybe she wants to see her natural nail length anyway. Because I did get a question in my comments about if I do remove natural nail from underneath, if I could show that. So that's why I asked her if she wanted me to thin them down or remove them, because I did see that comment. I do remember, I can't remember right now who left that comment, pardon me, but I will show that the next time I'm able to, which I do fear will be like 3 sets now, from now with Kendra, because like I said, her next set we're going to be taking these down. So just wanted you to know I did hear that, I did see that comment, and I did intend on doing that this set, but we just didn't get around to it. I did ask her, and I think we just started talking about other stuff. So again, I'll let you guys watch. Get ready for the black disaster coming up. Also, another reason why I go in with clear, you guys might notice when you're doing nails, when the nail dries, you might see negative space where you miss a little acrylic, like right here. As I'm turning this nail, because before I'm done and I move on to the next nail, I always turn the nail and look from every angle. So you can see here with my clear that I'm actually going to leave a little puddle of it, so to speak, right here, because I need to fill in that area. It's not that I don't want to get out my orange again. I don't know why. I just think because I'm capping, I'm like, oh, let me just fill it in with clear. So that's another reason I do it. So another thing I wanted to show you guys, I mentioned this before in lots of videos, but I learned this from V. So when I was really teaching myself and really serious into learning everything I could possibly learn, absorbing every detail, she would say that you need to get muscle memory. Just after every step you do with your brush, wipe it on the towel, wipe it on the towel, wipe it on the towel. And just constantly be wiping off your brush, because people would ask her in her videos, how do you keep your brush from getting clogged? How do you keep your monomer from getting dirty? How do you, whatever. And so I just really took that to heart, and now it's just part of what I do. I do keep my towel in view here a little bit sometimes, you guys, because I'm working with black, and I want you to notice when I get to the end of doing the black that my monomer isn't dirty at all, and that's because I'm like obsessive about wiping my brush after every single stroke, whether I'm putting it in the monomer dish, on the nail, in the acrylic. I do it a lot, and that keeps my brush clean, it keeps my monomer clean, and that's another good tip for you guys. If you guys have been here a while, you know I can never shut up, so I'm back. But I said the black disaster, so it was cold in my room, so these beads were runnier than I was anticipating. So that's what's going on here. But I will say that even though I took a different route, like here I just went runny and figured get it in there and get it off, I was able to get much closer to the cuticle and do much better cuticle work with the black this time than previous times. And you know what's really weird, you guys, is that, and I say this because I don't want you guys to think I'm repeating myself if you're like an OG and you've watched all my videos and you've been with me like since the beginning or whatever, but I used to not have a problem with this. I used to not have a problem at all working with darker colors and getting them near the cuticle. It never used to be a thing. I would just blip, pop it there. I have struggled with many other things, trust me. Like, I can't do nail art. That's just, oh my gosh, I get a knot in my gut. I can't breathe. Like, I just know if someone wants me to do a Frenchie, forget it. It's not even about can I draw the Frenchie. It's can I make them all equal and even. And I just can't, like, there are things I struggle with, believe me. But it's never been my cuticle bead. And it's never been my cuticle bead with a dark color. So I don't know what has been going on, like, the past 6 months or so. I don't know if it's been the temperature. I don't know. I don't know if it's just been, like, I know for a bit there it was because my room was too hot, and now I think my room is too cold. But get it together. Like, I know when my room, like, I know how to work with acrylic. So yeah, I don't know what's going on, but I was able to get, even if I took shortcuts and roundabout ways, I was able to get the black pretty much better up into the cuticles than I did on that horrible red and black set. Another thing, Kendra told me she wants to do candy corn nails next for Halloween. So in my mind, obviously, I'm like, okay, well, I'm going to use orange, probably this orange because it's like the perfect candy corn orange, or whichever orange she chooses, but orange, white, and yellow, right? And color block. How freaking cute. But then she said that she wants them back to almond, which I think Kendra watches these videos, so she knows how I feel. But they're her nails. I tell her all the time, they're your nails. I've been very honest with Kendra. We're very honest with each other. I adore this girl. Anyway, yeah, she knows how I feel about that. But they're her nails if she wants to go back to almond. But she did tell me, I did tell her, just think on it. Just think on it, because you can leave them these beautiful coffin shapes. She was so happy to go back to coffin. So was I. I think they look absolutely beautiful on her nails. Me personally, I think that almond shape is ugly. Just period. I've said it before. Nothing to do with Kendra. Just that shape on anyone. I do not like that trend. I wish it would go away. They're hard to do, etc., etc. So I can't imagine doing a 3-color block and keeping the nails to actually look like candy corn and the lines to be even on all 10 nails on a small almond. Like, yeah, that's so she told me, I told her, think about it, keep an open mind, let your mind absorb that maybe you might let me do it on a coffin instead. So we joked about that a little bit. She said make a sample candy corn nail out of coffin so she could see how it looked, because she really wanted it to look like an actual candy corn, which I get that. But then I think that's going to be our first of the next set, so then I'm going to have to do 3 more sets where I have to rebalance and fill on top of those and hide the candy corn colors on those little almonds. So it goes farther for me because I have to think about, it's not just the work I do or how hard it is. That isn't it. It's just, no matter how much effort and struggle you put in, it just doesn't come out as well for me as a coffin, a stiletto, a square. I don't know. I detest it. But we're going to get there. So I'm going to make a sample candy corn nail on a coffin and see how it looks. And hopefully she'll be interested in that. If not, we're going to be back to almond. And maybe she will, after the candy corn, I'm willing to completely soak that off and go back to coffin if she just wants a candy corn once. If she's willing to go back to coffin after that, I'll take them off, trust me. See, so here I was able to get the right consistency and get this right up against the cuticle. This is what I used to be able to do. I used to be able to just put the right bead right up against that cuticle, not touch the skin, and keep it moving. I don't know what has been happening lately with my application, but it's torture for me because it's not what I'm used to. As far as, like I said, I never really struggled getting acrylic in the cuticle, and I think that's because I had my liquid to powder down, so when I'm putting these runny, wet, black beads on, it's just a mess. So I have to get that straightened out. Alright, I'll let you guys watch, and I'll come back. You know I'll come back because I can't be quiet. And I am back. I just wanted to add a little caveat here. Kendra did tell me that I do not have to have, because she knows my issues. It's one of the first things she said, that the lines in the candy corn don't have to be even on all 10, because she knows that will drive me nuts because I'm a perfectionist. And so is she. She likes everything to be the same. So I don't know how it will be okay for either of us for the lines to not be even. I feel like, even though she said, don't worry about that, I'll worry about it. I feel like Of course I'm going to worry about that. Like, how could they be uneven? Oh my gosh, you guys. So maybe it would be good to just do like a really, really light nude color or even clear and polish them. But then can I get that even? Do I have those colors in polish? I don't know. I don't know. We're going to have to see. So I need to get my brain and, my brain around that over the next 3 weeks. And I also need to make a sample nail for her. So if you guys have any tips, let me know. Or if you've ever seen a tutorial on candy corn nails, send me the link. Also, right here when I'm working, you guys, this is a really good shot of my monomer, my brush, how often I wipe it. And if you're doing an acrylic application, of course, your monomer is going to be a little bit cloudy. But for the most part, my monomer is pretty clear for having laid, half of... I only have one more black nail to do, and my monomer is still pretty clear. So if that's something you struggle with, having darker colors basically ruin your monomer, just wipe your brush. Wipe it constantly. Like every time you take it off the nail, wipe it. And so maybe that will help you. Okay, so right here I kind of let you guys see how I pick up a bead. And then I don't remember what happened. Pardon me. But that bead didn't work out, so I had to like take it off. And so that's why you see just a real thin layer here. I just blended out what was still on the nail and got rid of that bead. I don't know if you guys do nails, you know sometimes that happens. You get to pick up a perfect bead, and for whatever reason it's just not perfect, and you gotta get rid of it. So see how here, even with any other color, I don't really struggle too much getting, I don't know what it is with black. I do the same steps with the black. So maybe because there's so much pigment in black, it's automatically going to be runnier than the other colors. I don't know, because see how that was not hard? And I do the same thing. But I think the black is definitely runnier, but I should know that. Did I forget it? Like, I don't know what's going on. Oh my gosh. If you guys have any tips, let me know. I don't think I finished saying what I was saying about Kendra's nails, so I'm sorry, about Kendra's skin being sensitive. You can see above this nail here, her cuticle. I haven't done anything. I didn't show, but I did use a cuticle pusher and push up her cuticles, push back her cuticles before we started. I don't know why I didn't show that step, but we did do that. But I wonder if, since she has such sensitive skin, if some of the monomer getting on her skin, I try to avoid that as much as possible, but it's not always possible to not get any monomer on the skin. But I was noticing when I was watching this back, pardon me you guys, I don't know what's going on with my voice, but I noticed when I was watching this back that her cuticle area was, the skin above that was awfully pink. So I hope she's not developing any kind of sensitivity to monomer, because that would really be disastrous. But I've also seen her skin look like that definitely after prep, just because literally, and Kendra will tell you herself, just the smallest thing happens, if she scratches herself, like her skin just turns bright red. She's really sensitive skin. So I'm going to be keeping an eye on that, but that's something you guys should be noticing, paying attention to as well on your clients. Just anything, any abnormal, something you haven't seen before starts happening. Like, just look at her cuticles here. Now, it's not on that, they don't look like that on the finger I'm holding. And that might be because this finger doesn't have any monomer on her skin yet. So I didn't really notice that when we were working, I don't think. I'm only noticing it when I'm watching the video. So I'm going to ask her if she had any itching or anything. Now, when you get contact dermatitis because you start becoming sensitive to monomer or chemicals, you just need to take a break and try again. From what I've learned, if it happens again, then maybe you've developed an allergy. But typically with an allergy, you're going to start getting what I would consider to be like hives, like blisters, bumps, itching. It's an allergic reaction. So essentially. So I'm going to do some more research into it, because like I've mentioned to you guys before, it's been years and years since I went to school and learned all that stuff. And also, products have changed since then. What we know and have learned has changed since then. So I'm going to do some research into that. I think this pink, this redness was gone by the time we were done with her set, because I definitely don't remember it in the pictures. I think I would have noticed. But yeah, I'm going to ask her about that and keep an eye on it. And I do want to mention that I sincerely care about Kendra as a person, as a human, and I really enjoy spending time with her. And she's the perfect client. She Apple Pays me before her appointment. Like, she already takes care of that. She puts it in her budget. She plans it. She keeps her appointments. She's never late or cancels. We plan in advance. She knows when she's coming. She tells me what she wants. She knows not to push me past my boundaries. If she wants to draw a spider web, she knows right away to tell me, I want spider webs on my nails, but I'm going to draw them, because she knows my limits. She lets me move her hand any old kind of way, and she's still during her appointment. She doesn't do any jerking and anything rude, like, putting her hands in her hair or anything. She's just the perfect client. I just want to mention that. I just adore her. And so we're going to get into filing next. I'll jump right back on. Okay, so right here I'm going to get into filing with this Tammy Taylor 100 grit. I've got the 180 stuck to the other side, and I use both throughout my set. Here's that angle I was telling you guys about. I don't just use it on prep, I use it for finished filing as well. And you'll be able to see as we go here what this is doing to the shape. It's going to narrow out the barrel or the body of the shape, because even if you're doing square, you still want that top part narrow. This helps narrow out your square shape too, if you narrow out the top like this by doing this side swipe. Now, also, I'm going to be taking this file very lightly across her free edge to straighten the edge, but I am not doing my actual straightening at this time, because I've learned by over shortening the nails, when your nail is still thick and you have not taken your e-file and thinned out the underside of your free edge, which I'll show you later what I'm talking about. I do it on every set. If you haven't done that yet, you can file your free edge into a straight line until the cows come home, and it's not going to look straight because it's too thick at the edge. It still needs to be thinned out. So I only do like a cursory straightening at this stage when I'm hand filing, and I wait until I'm done with my e-filing to one more time crisp those edges and look at it for the client view. So I'll show you that, and you'll be able to see this angle as well with the black. It's much easier to see. I do this in every set, but I just don't think I've mentioned it to you guys. Super important to taper in the nail right here, again, whether it's coffin or not, because right here I'm not tapering the sides, I'm tapering the top, if that makes sense. And after that, we're going to get into e-filing. And my e-file, my new e-file, I've used it for a couple sets now, and she's just, oh my gosh, just a completely different experience. I love my Melody Susie e-files. They did me good for 3 years, so I don't have any complaints about them. Well, I do. I wouldn't say complaints, but maybe, things about it that I don't have to experience anymore with this e-file that I didn't, like very much. The rattling, the vibration, the noise, how heavy it was, how large it was in my hand, like all those things I didn't even realize were bothering me, except for I just wanted you guys to see the nails there. What would bother me was my hand going numb. So this is the step I'm talking about. Right here I'm going to get rid of as much pink under there as I can. And I'm also thinning out her free edge. I do this on every set, whether it's a new set or fill or rebalance. I'm going to get as much of the thickness away from the free edge. And this is when you want to, after you've done this step, is when you want to really crisp up your edges, because you're not going to be able to get them crispy when they're thick like that. I've just learned that the hard way. I think it was my cousin that came one time for her nails, and I just kept filing, trying to get that, because they were thick, because it was when I first started. I kept filing and filing, not knowing I needed to do this step, trying to get her free edge straight. And I mean, by the time I was done, her pinky nail was way shorter than her others. It was just absurd. This I have sped up because we've all seen this before, but I'm just showing you after that step that I do crisp up the edges, and you're able to crisp them up nice and crisp when it's thin, when it's thinned out. Back to the e-file. It's been a great experience using it. It's so light. The hand piece is so slim in your hand. It's hard to get this in without moving my camera. Now, I did do a nail set right after this, the next day, that I'll be putting up for you guys, that pink and purple ombre set I've posted. And I realized when I did that one, all I have to do is zoom my camera out to be able to show you guys that. So I got that step in real good on the next video I'm going to post, which I do already have. As soon as this one is uploaded to YouTube, I'm going to start editing that other one. So I'll have a set for you back to back. I also have the Nail It Like Lucy and or Acrylic Cure goodie bags and mystery bags that I ordered that I'm going to unbox for you. That box is sitting here burning a hole in my mind. I want to open it. I also have some sister nail mail. I might be unboxing that on my channel. I'm going to ask her if she minds if I do that. I'm not sure how she feels about that, so I'm going to talk to her first. But so I do have the pink and purple ombre medium length. No, it's pretty medium long, I guess. It's longer. They're longer than these. Square pink and purple square ombre nails. Full tutorial to put up for you guys right after this. And then again the Acrylic Cure unboxing. And yeah. Oh, and Friday, Shantae is coming back. She's the one that gets the full length squares. The one I love during her set because she always gets full length. I don't even trim off the number, just the little nub. And so she's coming Friday for a money set. I've never done the money set, but she wants them instead of clear. She wants them like a smoky green and black base. So we'll see how that works out. The picture she sent me looks pretty challenging. So I think I mentioned to you guys not too long ago that there was a set that I was going to be a little bit challenged by coming up. She had to reschedule, but we have an appointment Friday. So that'll be coming up too. I don't know what's going on with my voice. Back to the e-file. It's been a pleasure using this. I'm so glad this is my new tool. It's just a very, very large difference in performance than the Melody Susie. I don't get any vibration, any numbness. I barely have to turn it on. The speed, the precision, it's just really, 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 really nice. And I'm really thankful for it. So after this, we're going to, I can't remember what's on here next. It looks like I have the filing sped up. And then, of course, oh yeah, we're going to do the top coat. And Kendra put the stickers on herself. So after top coat, oh yeah, I do, on some of these edges, this is what I was wanting to show you here. Okay, so on the black nails, you can see, on all the nails, you can see the pink underneath. But on the black nails, there were some little tiny edges of the free edge where the pink was showing through. So I just got out my trusty Zulays black polish, best black polish I've ever used, by the way, and just dab a little bit of that on there to cover those little spots of pink showing through. And then we clear coat, what am I talking about? Top coat, and then we're done. And then I will attach the videos of what they look like after Kendra put the stickers on. She likes to arrange them herself, and I like her to do that too, because it takes a lot of time as a nail tech for you to ask your client from upside down exactly how they want each sticker placed. If your client doesn't mind, like Kendra, because we've been OGs together, I just let her do it. And she likes doing it. So that's, again, why she's an excellent client. So, yeah, all those steps are right here. I do include the final product, of course, at the end. Thank you guys for watching. Thank you guys for being here. Appreciate you so much, and I will see you next time. Bye.
Hi YouTube!